Joining us now for more is Humboldt County's Emergency Services Director, Ryan Derby. Mr. Derby, thank you so much for joining us on what I'm sure has just been an incredibly hectic day. Stating the obvious here, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake is certainly a major event. Thousands remain without power and water tonight. Walk us through the latest situation in your county.
So currently we have just over 50,000 residents or PG&E customers who are without power. That's down from about 70,000 earlier today, and PG&E is working really hard to get that power restored throughout the county, anticipating most of the county coming back online by about 10 p.m. tonight. The majority of impacts in the community are in the city of Rio Dell and the city of Fortuna, and currently our Emergency Operations Center is working on gathering damage reports and getting an assessment of the total impact to the community. We're opening up a shelter at 9 Park Street in Fortuna at the Fireman's Pavilion there that'll be open for residents 24 hours if they're displaced from the earthquake. And right now, we're still very much in the stage of gathering the total impact reports from the county to get an accurate picture of all that we need to prioritize.
How was it for you? I mean, did you feel the impacts of this?
I did. So I was sleeping, and about 2:30 in the morning, just after 2:30, it felt like a truck hit my house and woke me up, and then immediately my phone started going off from there. So we activated our Emergency Operations Center at 3:30 this morning at what we call a level 2, which is a medium level activation. And from there, we'll coordinate public information, coordinate with our operational area partners, and get resources and information out to the residents of Humboldt County.
I know that we've heard 2 people died, at least 12 people injured. Is everyone accounted for at this point?
As far as I understand, the people who were calling for medical rescue or fire rescue have been accounted for. We're still getting some significant calls into our emergency communications centers, but the bulk of the calls happened immediately following the earthquake this morning, and it seems to have subsided a little bit throughout the day, which to us means that residential impacts are stabilizing a little bit in terms of emergency calls for service. But there's certainly some unmet needs in the community as far as sheltering that we're trying to address, and gathering personal impacts and public impacts to government facilities and individual properties.
This is, of course, a very remote part of California, but the city of Rio Dell, with a population of about 3,000, is being called ground zero as far as damage is concerned. Can you talk about the scope of the devastation as far as when you go out of your building right now and you're driving around the street, how bad does it look?
So our Emergency Operations Center is in the city of Eureka. And in the city of Eureka, we've seen some minor structural damage, particularly in the Old Town district of the city. Rio Dell certainly got hit the hardest in the county. We're hearing reports that their water system's down, their sewage is down. And in both Fortuna and Rio Dell, multiple businesses have seen impacts, with one grocery store being condemned and closed, and multiple single-family residences also being condemned due to structural impacts from the earthquake.
I know it's still very soon, but if we could think of a timeline, are we talking about a matter of weeks or months until some of the roads and bridges may ultimately be able to be repaired?
So generally speaking, our roads and bridges fared pretty well. We do have one bridge in Ferndale that's currently closed. And in speaking with Caltrans earlier today, they're bringing in some structural engineers from Sacramento to come and assess and work on a timeline. We'll likely get a more accurate picture of what that closure is going to look like come tomorrow once they had time to do their assessments. But all the major lifeline routes, the highways, have remained relatively unscathed with some cracking, but they're still passable.
I understand more than 3 million people were actually notified by phone ahead of the quake, and some were given an alert as much as 20 seconds beforehand. Do you think that the early alert may have saved lives?
Absolutely. The California early earthquake alerting system has been instrumental in the past year and a half since it's been implemented. That gives residents the opportunity to duck cover and hold on before an earthquake happens. And even if it's just a couple seconds before the earthquake hits, it gives them a little bit of time to prepare and brace for the impact of it.
Ryan Derby, we thank you so much for your time, and of course our thoughts are with your entire community tonight.
All right, thank you so much for having me, and feel free to give me a call if you have any follow-up.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.